me, Jamie O'Hara, and alongside me tonight, Jason Cundy. We've just heard Arsenal's 2-2 draw with Crystal Palace was live on talkSPORT. We're taking calls now. 03717 223344. We're going to discuss a little bit of Kevin De Bruyne as where his whereabouts might be next season as well. But let's go to Negative Chris. He's the Arsenal fan. All right, Chrissy boy?
Hello, boys. You good?
All right, matey. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Bit of a... These games are dead rubbers, boys, mate. They're dead rubbers. Yeah. It's all about next week. The only thing is a bit concerning is that we've had too many draws. I mean, we've got more draws than IKEA this season. It's terrible. Saliba, yeah, again, it's a bit of a concern because I expect that from someone like Kiwior. But listen, as Cundy, you said, get these mistakes out of the way tonight and let's concentrate on next Tuesday. That's the biggest game of the season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, do you know what? If I was a Gooner right now, I'd be a little bit annoyed at that because they are basic errors. These are errors that the pass he put in, I can't really put it into, but it's a gift. He's still got to finish it, fair enough. But he done the same against Vinicius Junior. All right, didn't affect the result, but you could tell in Arteta's post match he was a bit annoyed there, and I'm pretty sure he ain't backwards in coming forward and telling exactly what he thought of that mistake. Because you give one of them away, it could be the difference between making the final and not.
Yeah, exactly. And like tonight as well, Raya, what was he doing? He was all over the place tonight. I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, I don't know. He was having a bit of a weird night.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just, for me, it's all about next Tuesday. These league games, the atmosphere tonight as well was so flat.
It's going to be, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. But that's why I'm not too angry because these are just dead rubbers. And let's get the season out of the way, the Premier League season. And I think tonight, the boys, you could just tell that they were just playing with, get through 90 minutes, no injuries, and we move on to
Can you blame them? I've been there. I've been there a week before a cup final. You know, when I'm like, don't get injured.
But Benty said it on Drive today, right? Benty and was ghosting, and I said it earlier and he heard me. Benty was saying, what you don't want to do, you want to put in performance, you don't want to lose. A draw felt like a fair result over the 90 minutes and all this, but he said, what you don't want to do is give away a bit of a howler. You don't want to be going into the next game having a mistake on your mind. And he made that point, Benty, and he's absolutely right. So that's the second one in nearly as many games that Saliba's made. Very similar mistakes. And that... He doesn't want to be starting off a bit nervous.
We can't be making mistakes like that next week because they will punish us without doubt.
Yeah.
And everyone keeps coming on here saying, we've already beat PSG this year. It's a totally different team.
Yeah. Can I ask you, right? If I meant to ask it, no one's trying to... What's your team that you put out? What is your team you put out?
Well... The back five's obviously obvious. Yeah. In midfield, I would go Rice, Marino, and Odegaard.
Yeah.
And up front, you'd have to put Trossard because he's got 3 goals in 2 games, and obviously Saka and Martinelli.
Yeah.
But I will say one thing as well, though. Odegaard again tonight was anonymous.
Yeah, he's had a weird season. I think he's only got 2 league goals.
It's a season to forget.
It is, yeah. It's a shame, really. But it might be a season to remember.
Say that.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. If he captains us for the Champions League final, I'll shut my mouth. But tonight he was really bad. Like the first couple of minutes, he gave the ball away twice, and I was like, he's going to have a bad game, and he was terrible as well. But listen, we didn't lose. As I said,
all about next week, mate. It's all about next week.
That's it. I'll be calling up next Tuesday, hopefully buzzing or. Or you're
going to have a big old as anyone's seen. I tell you what, you get knocked out by PSG, mate. It can go on for 5 minutes.
Mate, I'm telling you, if we lose that game, I think I'm not going to tune into you lot on Tuesday.
But you got 2 bites at it, you know?
Yeah, but not if we get battered.
Yeah, I don't think you get bad. You ain't getting. Arsenal don't get bad anymore.
It's true. We'll see.
Chris, listen, mate, thanks for the call. Let's go to Cameron, who's a Man City fan. All right, Cam.
How you doing, Jace? How you doing, Jamie? You all right, boys?
Good, matey. How are you?
Good, not too bad. First of all, I just want to give, before I go any further what God said, I just want to give a massive shout out. Just got home from my local team semi-final wins for the Viking boys, and manager Liam Storer getting us a win tonight. So that's a big thing
Happy
tonight.
Days.
Yeah, good work. Well done.
We're in 3 cups as a Sunday team, and we're doing well, so we're going well.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, the thing for me was going on about the situation earlier with Raya, and I completely agree with some of the comments. For me, as a City fan, goalkeeping for me is one of the biggest positions in a football team, obviously, which you'll both agree. Obviously, Jamie, you've played, Jace, you've played. And your mouth comes from your goalkeeper. Your organisation comes from a goalkeeper. It's one of the most important places on the pitch for me. Normally, 9 times out of 10, I say a goalkeeper should be a captain because he sees a lot of the game. Now, for me, I heard the Arsenal fans earlier, and some of them, oh my God, I can't deal with it. I'll admit that, City have had a bad season this season. We have, but if we go and win the FA Cup and we finish in the Champions League, City fans can't remember the last time we did well in anywhere. For me, that'll be a great season. So I'll still take that. But listening to some of the Arsenal fans earlier going about, listening about the old PSG, we battered them in the group and, but, Champions League's a different ball. PSG have looked so much threatening without Mbappe, without Messi, without Neymar. They have looked such a refreshing team to watch. And Raya, for me, he's no different, in my opinion. I don't know what you boys think about. For me, he's no different to Aaron Ramsdale, if I'm being perfectly honest, after watching tonight's game.
Oh,
now,
no,
it's a big statement. I get that.
But that's a ridiculous statement, mate.
He might have had a bad game, but I mean, consistently over this season, there ain't many better.
He's been amazing.
Yeah,
he's been fantastic. But I just think when he has a bad game, and it was the same as what goalkeepers. I mean, Edison has a bad game for City sometimes, and I just think that they're quick to jump on to go, oh, the goalkeeper's done this, the goalkeeper's done that, the goalkeeper, and I'm just thinking, if you put Ramsdale in, I mean, he has shown how he can be and stuff like that. I'm just thinking the goalkeeper can see everything from where they are. It's a different position. Don't get me wrong. I've said it to my mates earlier in the pub. I think that goal that Mateta scored is probably, and you might agree with this, you might not, it's probably goal of the season.
Oh, wow.
Goal of the season?
It's a big statement, that. It's a brilliant goal.
The technique he took, the technique where the ball was moving away from him, I just thought, for me, I mean...
He's a footballer.
Yeah, but...
No, it's a brilliant strike, and he judges it to perfection. All right, but goal of the season's a hell of a statement. Yeah.
Cam, look,
if I'm wrong, then fair enough.
Cam, what about Kevin De Bruyne? Because I've got to ask you about him. How Man City feeling about letting him go? Because he said he wanted to stay, and he was surprised that he ain't got another deal. Said he'd stay in the Premier League. Would you begrudge him if he went to Arsenal?
Do you know what? I'm glad you mentioned it, because obviously before everything that was going on, they said about you're going to mention De Bruyne, and I'm glad because it takes away everything I'll say. But do you know what? I've seen that interview about, I think it was where he's at Everton, and he was going on about he wants to stay. He knows he's not 25 anymore. I went last night and I was sat in front of Phil Foden's box, and I was sat there and I thought, Phil could have had a chance coming on. But De Bruyne, for me, do you know what? Would I grudge him? After what I've heard, I don't know if it's true. Obviously, you hear videos, Jamie. You know yourself. You both do yourself. You hear speculation. The video where I heard Everton saying, "Look, it's a business side. It's what the club wants." For me, do you know what? I wouldn't blame him. If he went to Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, anyone like that. I mean, obviously,
Chelsea.
About Chelsea.
Chelsea, but he's played for Chelsea before your lot.
Yeah, I know. But there was talks of people going on about what if he goes back there. I'm like, he can't go back there.
Villa are interested, apparently.
Villa. So for me, his family have grew up in Manchester. So
he can stay in the Premier League, but he's got to go and play for Bournemouth, basically, is what you're saying?
No. If he went to, who did you say, Arsenal, would I grudge him? Yeah. No, I wouldn't. No.
But Chelsea would.
Chelsea, obviously, JC wouldn't. If he went to United or Liverpool, they're the two. Sorry, they're the two.
Yeah. All right. Cam, listen, mate, thanks for your call. Let's go to YK. He's an Arsenal fan. YK?
Hello,
mate. You all right?
YK?
How we doing? You all right?
Good, matey.
I was at the game tonight. I just want to say that I'm absolutely sick of hearing people criticise David Raya.
Yeah.
All right, he's not been great today, but there's not many goalies in the league, in my opinion. What you boys think? But
no, listen, I think he's a fantastic keeper. I think he's been brilliant. I do. It was a weird performance from him tonight, to be honest. It
wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't great from the whole team. It felt like we had all eyes on next
which
week,
is fine.
And no one wanted to get injured, and everyone kind of wanted to get through the game and just kind of when it went to all, it kind of just the game died.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think
nobody
Arsenal will be like, well, we'll take that. Palace fault, we'll take that.
Yeah.
Let's, that's it.
We got bigger fish to fry than Palace. We got bigger fish to fry, as my brothers just said.
Yeah,
next week, PSG. I mean, everyone's saying PSG, they're a different side from early on in the season, and they're different. All of this.
Do nothing.
I'm sorry, but it's the
Who's
same.
that piping up?
Who's that loudmouth? Yeah? If he wanted to have if he wants a phone call, tell him to phone the number.
It's my brother next to me, but
Loudmouth,
I mean,
bruv.
it's the same. It's the same back five. And it's pretty much the same midfield. The only difference is Dembele's back in the squad, and Kvaratskhelia has been signed in January. That's the only difference. I mean, I think teams that come out against Arsenal, they get punished. Punished. Teams that
You got a parrot in there with you.
Teams that play pragmatic football do well against Arsenal. So the likes of Villa, the likes of Inter Milan, they're gonna cause Arsenal problems. But teams like Barcelona and PSG want to come out and play against us. Listen, I think we do all right against them. I think
There's no reason why you can't go through, but they aren't the same team as that we saw earlier in the season. And I think if you speak to anyone that's watched them play consistently, and we speak to Kevin Atchard. Kevin's made that point. You know, this is a totally different looking team, and Enrique has clearly got the very best out of them at the moment. We saw that against Liverpool. You know, they wouldn't have done that against Liverpool in the earlier part of the season.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not the same Arsenal either.
They come to the Emirates on smoke. They'll get smoke. They'll get it.
I mean, I don't think we're the same Arsenal as what you saw in October. We had no Odegaard back then.
Yeah.
We were a team that was figuring things out. We didn't really know where we was. But now, listen, we're in March, April times. We just beat Madrid over 2 legs both times.
Yeah.
No one backed us to beat us then.
Yeah.
We put 7 past PSV.
Yeah.
We put 5 past Sporting Lisbon. We've already beaten PSG. All right, it's a different PSG. It's later on in the season, but there's absolutely no reason why we shouldn't be in the final.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.